Hey everybody, wanted to give you a quick little update on some things with Duckpins4Ever and kind of lay down what the schedule looks like for the next few months and thank some of the people who have donated to us since I did the last one of these back in, I think it was about February. But anyway, I'll go ahead and start with some of the donation thanks. To start with, I want to give a very, very, very great thanks to Jeremy Cattle. He donated a medium end mobile camcorder camera. So that may not sound like that big a deal, but that was actually kind of a huge deal. As unless you've been living under a rock, electronics components have like skyrocketed in cost. They are incredibly expensive right now, and no one is making new camcorders anymore. Very few people buy them, very few people want them, mostly because the camera that is in your cell phone is probably better than most camcorders. But camcorders are made to store oodles amount of video data, able to be easily processed, and serve multiple uses that we can take great advantage of at Duckpins4Ever. Had he sold that camera on the open marketplace, it probably would have been worth about $600, $700. So it is worth a great deal to me. So if you see this camera around, please, please, please do not break it because I can't afford another. Um, but particularly because of that camera, we've been able to get very good coverage of the Pro League, the Baltimore Pro League, and another event coming up soon. But eventually we're going to be using that camera as our main feed camera, probably starting up in the next, probably by the end of the month, I'll have it set up and we can start using it. But I am incredibly thankful to him for donating that camera to the cause. It is incredibly helpful. Other donators I would like to thank Stephanie Hipkins, Jesse Deach, Josh Pearson, Lenny Anderson, Sharon Green, Andrew Welling, and Eric the Pistol Pistorio. Your donations in particular have been pretty helpful to me because if you've seen me around at some of the tournaments, I end up having to lug two of these monitors around with me every time I go to a tournament. Uh, I don't use a laptop. I use a small, what do they call them? A mini PC. Mini PCs are slightly more powerful than laptops and about a quarter the price because they don't come with a lot of the built-in hardware that a laptop would have, like I don't know, a monitor. So it's more affordable and oftentimes more powerful than a laptop. So I don't have to carry those around because I have two of these now, portable monitors. I bought one a few months back, and now I was able to get the second one. And having these saves me a lot of time, a lot of pain carrying these monitors around with me everywhere I want to go. It's much more nicer to have these little portable monitors I can easily set up. They can be powered off USB-C. Like there's so many great advantages to these. And eventually, one of my plans is to get a carrying case that I can put this all into really easily, rather than the Amazon box that I have. Can you see it behind me? Yeah, it's that box down on the floor behind me. Get an actual carrying case to put this all in so I can easily take stuff in and out of it. It's a lot easier to carry, and I don't have to worry about that box breaking on me one day. That's one thing I'm looking for to get with these donations, but the primary thing I'm getting with the next batch of donations will be a new microphone. If you haven't noticed, I have a lot of trouble getting the sound quality set up well for these events. Part of it is because the microphones we use don't seem to interact very kindly to Windows 10, and getting a microphone that works well for like a group of people in a commentator's booth, um, getting that to work nicely in a bowling alley for the commentators is kind of been a big struggle. Um, so I think I've identified one that'll work pretty well. I just need to get. I think I'm probably short about $80. I think to get it. And when I say $80 to get it, I mean I probably have the money to get it right now. It's just I like having that extra funding in case some sort of emergency comes up that I have to procure something on the fly. So That's all for the donations. Again, thank everyone I mentioned, especially Jeremy Cattle for that camera. I don't know where I would be without having that camera right now. Moving on to the next topic. So I've kind of planned out a little schedule for the next 3 months. Let me bring that up here. Boop. Yeah. So these are the events I've planned out for the next 3 months. To start with, next Thursday, May 12th. That is the last week of my Thursday night league at Walkersville, the Monocacy Valley League, which I'll learn to spell right eventually. They're having their roll off for the first half champion and the second half champion. You can tune in for that and watch some local bowlers at Walkersville bowl. That weekend on the 15th is the Greenmount Team Tournament. I think it's going to be unlikely that I go to that. May's already a pretty busy month, and I'm going to probably be pretty busy that weekend outside of the team tournament, nor am I bowling in it. If I was bowling in it, I'd probably do it, but I already have kind of a busy schedule that weekend. I'm not sure I'm going to want to make it, especially considering the previous week I'll be doing the roll off at Walkersville, and that week it's just a very busy time frame. That Thursday is May 19th. 19th. So that will be the weekly singles league at Mount Airy. I'm going to be using the portable camcorder that we have to record probably 2 pairs of lanes. So you'll see 4 singles matches on that camera, and I'll post those up. It probably won't take me as long as it usually is it's taking me for the Pro League to get recorded and put up on YouTube. So I would expect that probably every Saturday or Sunday, I'll have these completed and post up for people to watch on YouTube. And there'll be a much shorter video than the Pro League. The Pro Leagues are coming in at like 3.5, 4 hours. These will probably come in at like 2 tops. I also have noted June 2nd. Originally, that league was scheduled to start June 2nd, but from what I'm hearing, it sounds like they're going to start up May 19th. So look for that the weekend of May 19th to be posted up on YouTube. That weekend, May 22nd, the Greenmount Pop Witten, I'll be there. Good to go. Don't think Nick Lloyd will be there though. I think he'll be out of town that weekend, so it'll be just me and whoever I can scrounge up to do commentary. The following weekend is the Suitland's Men Pro Tour. I'll be there for that. I'm really looking forward to it. I was looking forward to do the Pop Witten at Suitland, but I was unable to make it. But thankfully, Seth was able to cover for me and do the hosting duties for that tournament. I was actually supposed to travel that weekend, but I got sick and I ended up home all weekend, so I wouldn't have been able to make it anyway. I was pretty miserable that weekend. 2 weeks later is the June Scratch Battle at Southwest. I'm going to try to cover it. I think it's like 50-50 whether or not I'll make it. I think I'm going to have some work functions that week, but I should be able to make it. We'll see. I want to because it's a pretty quick tournament, and a lot of these team tournaments we get some good viewership on. So I'm going to try to do the final day of the June Scratch Battle. Also, I don't have a team if you want to invite me. The following weekend is the Johnson's Men Pro Tour. So at the moment, I'm planning to go up. I haven't set anything in stone yet, but I'm planning to go up for the Pro Tour at Johnson's. If I do go up to Johnson's, that will probably be one of the weekends that I'll do a full weekend coverage on. So I'll basically get up there, I'll set my stuff up on Friday, cover the Friday shift, go to the hotel, sleep, and then come back in the morning to cover the next 2 shifts on Saturday. And I'll probably bowl one of those Saturday shifts too. So that will probably be a full weekend tournament covering Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So look forward to that. It will be a blast, and you will see some incredibly high scoring because it's Johnson's, and it's fun to bowl at Johnson's. The next weekend, Mount Airy Pop Win, I'll be there. Should be no problem. I should note, June 26th is my birthday, so I'm expecting fireworks that day. It'll be great. 2 weeks later, we're back at Mount Airy again for the Men's Pro Tour. I might do a full weekend stream there again, or at least 2 days, just do Saturday and Sunday, skip Friday. We'll see. I'll have to figure that one out. Yeah, I kind of feel like doing Saturday and Sunday. I probably won't do Friday, but I'll think on it. I want to do a little more because Mount Airy is like my home house. I'm like 10 minutes away, 10, 15 minutes away. 2 weeks later, we'll be at Duel. I need to talk with the owners there before I 100% say I'm going to be there, but I'm going to be there. Um, I might try to do some different kind of streaming things at Duel. Part of the cool thing about Duel is, from a spectator's perspective, Duel is probably one of the best houses to go to, just purely for watching because of how far above our setup will be on the lanes. So I might try to do. I'm still kind of working this out in my mind. I have two streams going at once. One that shows like all 12 lanes so you can see the entire house, and then another just doing our feature pair. Um, I think Duel's design on how we're above everything makes for some like really interesting things I can do in terms of viewership. And then at the end of the month, I'm going to try to do the 200 plus honorees. Something for work could come up because my August. The reason I don't have August on here is because my August is going to be really crazy for work related things, and I don't think that will be an issue for the 200 plus tournament. But I just want to put that out there in case it does come up. Um, anyway, the Sunday format for this tournament is actually going to be pretty interesting. If I recall correctly, it's going to be singles, so one on one, but it's going to be best of three in each round. Depends on how many people sign up for it and how many people they get through the bracket. But my understanding was that they were going to try to do a best of three, which from a bowling side, I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. But from a spectator side, I actually think it'll be very enjoyable to watch. So that's it for the events. Like I said, with August, I'm a little like iffy on what's going to happen work wise. I'm probably going to miss like 2 to 3 weeks of bowling because of work. So we'll see what happens in terms of me being able to cover tournaments. I right now I would say you can assume I'm not going to be able to get to town hall, but I think I can get to the Pop Witten. We'll see. Okay, so lastly, I'm going to go ahead and turn this image off. I've got a little something special for everyone. I try to, when I do these quick like update videos, I want to try to get something special out to everyone. When I say quick, I mean I've already made this video 13 minutes. I'm kind of angry with myself. It's this long. I wanted to keep it down to 5 and then go to this part. But I've got something special for everyone here. I'm going to do a quick run through. In fact, I'll go ahead and bring it up right now. That's what I'll do. I gotta swap it over here. There we go. I'm going to do a quick breakdown on Matt Kruger's approach and swing release. So, unless you've been living under a box in Duckpin land, Matt Kruger has probably been the hottest bowler for this season. He's won, what, 4 tournaments already? He won both the Southwest Pop Wittens. He won the Suitland Pop Witten, and he won the Pinland Pro Tour. So, like, that's kind of insane to me to have someone win 4 tournaments in a single season. Actually, just absurd. But he's been on fire. So I want to take a moment to go through his approach and swing on a particular ball that he threw. So this particular match, I believe, comes from, yes, this is the February Pop Witten at Southwest. Yeah, this isn't the September. This is a February Pop Witten at Southwest. This was a quarterfinals match between him and Jeff Francis. So I had this recorded on camera, and this particular match was interesting because the camera is, I can get my mouse on here. The camera is like perfectly placed on lane 3, so you get directly behind the bowler, and I can do a really cool breakdown. There was like really only 2 games I could do this, and this one worked out, I think, the best. So I'm going to go ahead and start this up and stop it in a couple places that I think are really interesting things to talk about, of how he approaches the lane and his backswing, follow through, just kind of go through some of the things I see that are really unique about his swing. Because when I started, originally the reason for me doing this was because I was looking at Matt Kruger and I was like, he kind of seems like he has an approach similar to mine. I can probably adopt some of the little things he does into my approach and see where I go from there. after kind of looking through it, I realized he throws nothing like me at all. There are so many differences that I will in no way ever be able to do, and I kind of wanted to call some of these out because I thought they were incredibly interesting. So I'll go ahead and start it up. We got it going at quarter speed here. So he goes through his backswing, and I'm going to pause it right here. So there's a couple very interesting things already. So the first thing you can see is look where his head is and look where his ball is. He probably has that ball a good foot to the left of the plane. So if you draw a plane through his head down the lane and plane through the ball down the lane, that's probably a good foot difference there. He has that ball way back to the left side of his body. Not only that, but kind of look at his spine. One of the things I was always taught was to try to keep your shoulders square to the lane. And Matt's already kind of bent facing the right side over here. So he has this huge backswing. His head is way on the right. His ball is way on the left. And he's kind of bent to the right. This is a little abnormal, but there's also another little abnormality about this backswing. Look at his hand in the ball. He has his hand underneath the ball. So most people, when they do their backswing, and I'll kind of turn and maybe I can demonstrate it. When you do your backswing, you bring a hand straight back. You're actually holding the ball overhand. When he brings it back, here, I'll even go ahead and bring it back a little bit to show you. Watch what he does with his hand when he brings it back. Because I think there's only one other bowler I've noticed do this. He turns it in and has the ball underhand. He doesn't even turn it out to have it underhand. He turns it in. He closes his hand to have it underhand. Now, obviously, he's not going to throw the ball like this. He's going to turn his hand back. But if you turn your hand back from here, the expectation is when you let go of the ball that it's going to be a backup ball. So when a right-hander normally throws the ball, he throws with a right to left curve. But when you rotate your hand like this and throw the ball, the expectation is the ball's going to actually spin from left to right rather than right to left. It's very odd that you would turn your hand this way as a right-handed bowler. But the really good parts of Matt Kruger's approach and swing are coming up. Like this part is probably my favorite part. So I'm gonna speed it up and stop here. Oh, I got a little bit later than I wanted. See if I can bring it back and do it again. There we go. Look at his arm, where the ball is, and where his hand is. He has brought that ball back down almost perpendicular to the lane and with his head. So originally he had his head to the right, ball to the left, but when he brings it down, his head is perfectly in line with the ball because he'll bring it out just a little bit more to the right. I don't think I can get one more frame, but it will come out perfectly in line with his head. Not only that, but you can see his hand. His hand is now on the right side of the ball. It's not under, it's not on top, it's on the right. He's actually going to drop this ball sideways. And that's why his ball still goes from right to left. Because he's going to get a lot of rotation on this ball dropping it like this. He's going to whip this ball and it's going to get a ton of spin in the air. Let's see if I can get this to play and see if you can get a good view of this ball coming out of his hand. So you saw about 3 or 4 frames there. That ball had a lot of spin on it when he let go of it. And it wasn't going forward. It was pure right to left. This ball is rotating from the frame of reference we have on this screen. It is rotating counterclockwise. It's going to cut like crazy to the left. And that is despite closing his hand and rotating it like he's going to throw a backup ball. So, as I said, when he brought it back, ball was to the left, head was to the right, evened it up perfectly in line with his head on his release. So he brought the ball down and it was perfectly in line with his head when he released. Look at where that ball is and where his head is. That ball is perfectly on line. And let's see what the result of this ball is. And I'll even keep it in slow motion because I know Nick will like that. Oh, come on, duck, duck. He's going to duck. Perfect. Bam! Right on the pocket. Gets that 5-pin to fall. Gets a strike out of it. And he's happy about it. You can tell. Yeah, there we go. So, very, very interesting, and a lot of things that I think are very not common, but executed flawlessly. I need to show it again because of how spectacular that release was. When he gets this ball down, it's perfectly on line with where his head and body is. He may be very not square with his right shoulder dipped very low, but he stretches his hand straight down so that way the ball comes out in line with where his head is. And we'll just watch the strike again because we can. Bam! So, I hope you all enjoyed that. I know I did, going through this, but I hope to kind of make this kind of a regular feature when I do these updates, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you around at our next tournament, which will be Thursday at Walkersville, doing the roll-off. Yeah, that's right. See you all around. Peace out.